All right, part 3 on my Gottman Method conversation map. So far, we've talked about a stress-reducing conversation, a solution-focused conversation, a Gottman-Rappaport intervention, State of the Union conversation. We also touched on the dreams within conflict conversation. But now we're going to talk about when conversations do not go well, when we meander into criticism, defensiveness, stonewalling, or contempt. There is no conversation that is recommended when that is starting to happen. A better course of action is to take a brief break, a timeout, if you will. But the way to do this that does not seem like shutting down or stonewalling your partner is to specify the duration. It shouldn't need to take more than about 20 or 30 minutes, not actively thinking about the argument or fight while you're taking the break. Come back when you said you would, set a timer on your phone if you have to, and then offer a brief repair. I'll include a link in the caption or description that discusses a brief repair, how to do it, why it's useful. Or another more in-depth way to repair after a fight is to do an aftermath of a fight conversation. The 5 steps of the aftermath of a fight conversation are as follows, and each partner goes through them one by one. Step 1 is just emotional identification. This isn't I feel like followed by some long narrative or analysis. It's truly just an emotion that you're experiencing. It can be a few words and you're done with this step. Step 2 is the hardest of the 5 in my opinion. This involves describing some of the subjective realities you are experiencing while you are fighting. Things that are not necessarily true or false, but are just a subjective interpretation of your reality when you're flooded, when you're feeling in fight or flight. The listener's job is to just restate what the other person's subjective reality was that was explained to them, not to argue or correct it, because that just leads straight back into the argument, and say something a little bit validating or empathic about that subjective reality. Step 2 mirrors the Gottman-Rappaport intervention I discussed in a previous video. You're basically doing the Gottman-Rappaport intervention in order to accomplish step 2 of this aftermath of a fight intervention. Step 3 is identify any triggers, in other words, things that happened a long time ago that are in some ways feeding into a person's energy while they're fighting. It can be especially helpful if this trigger predates the relationship itself. It could even go all the way back to childhood. Step number 4 is making a statement of personal responsibility, what you contributed to the fight. You don't add in what your partner did wrong. That's their job. They're going to do step 4 as well. Step 5, preventative problem solving. If something very similar were to happen all over again, what could we do that would prevent it leading to that kind of fight again? When people try to have more than one of these conversations at the same time or bounce around from one goal or objective to another, it usually becomes disorganized, frustrated, leading back into criticism, defensiveness, stonewalling, etc. I think a lot of couples might not even need very much couples therapy if they both knew what these conversations entailed and they both agreed in advance which one of them they were trying to have with each other. Hope that helps, and follow me if you like content like this.